Yo, what's up everybody? KP here, and today I'm going to show y'all how I do the Louise skip. I'm gonna do the skip first, and then after that I'll get more into detail and step by step on how to do the skip. Let's get it. There you go. That was a pretty gnarly skip, huh? So basically what ended up happening is as soon as we jumped on the jetboard, I paused the game and went to options, and then I changed the frame rate to 30 FPS. And then once I did that, I rammed into the tentacle to kill Crash. But what ended up happening is, you saw how I kept pausing and unpausing the game. I was basically trying to pause the game on one of Crash's frames where he's dead during his death animation. And so once I found that frame, or one of those frames, because it's not just one frame, there's a window that you have that you could land on one of those frames. So once I realized that I landed on that window of frames, I pressed triangle. Pressing triangle in this game will actually respawn Crash faster. And so I made sure I pressed triangle, and then I unpaused the game, and then I was supposed to be dead, but since I pressed triangle, it respawns Crash. Crash was in a state where he's neither dead nor alive. We like to call him Zombie Crash. And then I ended up floating around the tentacle and finishing the level. So that's basically an explanation of the skip in a nutshell. So now I'm going to go through the skip step by step. We're going to start off by landing on the jetboard first. And then once we menu, we go down to 30 FPS. The reason why we go to 30 FPS is because it makes it easier for us to pause the game on one of Crash's death animations frames. Like there's a window of frames where that death animation lasts for. And so by setting it to 30, it makes it easier for us to pause the game on one of those frames. It's important for us to pause the game on one of those frames so that way the skip can work. If not, you'll just end up dying and then you'll just have to try again. Okay, now that I landed on the jetboard, for my setup, what I like to do is I like to flick the stick up once, like that. And then I pause the game, because I don't want to run into the tentacle yet. But once I flick it up once, then I'll usually press square to speed into the tentacle. And then I'll try to find one of those frames and do this thing called pause buffering, which is where you pause the game and unpause the game. I use the touchpad to pause the game, and then I press circle to unpause. And so I'm basically hunting for a frame, and I'll just kind of show what it looks like. And I found my frame already. You're wondering, like, how did he know that was the frame? I don't know if you heard that sound, but that's like a sound that plays when you die. I don't know if it plays for every death, but I know it plays on the jetboard and when you're on Schnurgle in Crash Landed, when you're trying to pause buffer like this. And then if I miss that sound, my backup is to actually look for the life counter in the top right corner. So I'm gonna intentionally unpause and pause a few frames down to see if you guys can see that counter and if I can land on that counter as well. So yeah, you see the counter, it popped up on the top right. So I can probably go a couple more frames and we'll still be fine. So that's like 2 or 3 more pauses that I just did. And then now here's the big part. You gotta make sure you press triangle when you're in one of these frames. So I'm gonna press it. You just need to press it once, but I get worried and I just spam the heck out of it sometimes, but you just press it once and you're fine. And then we're gonna unpause and then Crash will respawn. Alright, since we pressed triangle, we can respawn Crash, so you basically just slide out at this point. So I'm gonna press slide in a direction, and then look, there we go, Crash is here. And then at this point, make sure you do not press X or go back on the jetboard, or else you will soft lock the game and you will have to restart the level from the beginning, and that's no good. Alright, so we're just gonna float around Louise. So once I float around her, there's actually a platform behind her. And Once we're over that platform, you press X. Pressing X lowers Crash's height in the state. It's really weird, but in general, you don't want to press X unless you're over a surface. If we press it here, it'll actually soft lock the game. So that's why I was saying not to press it, but only when you're over that platform. So we'll go around, see how we get height, and then you, bam, there you go. I pressed X and then we descended into the end of the level. Pretty cool, huh? So that's kind of everything broken down step by step. Alright, now I'm gonna do it like if I was doing an actual run. The little differences that you'll notice is that I'll actually slide spin out instead of sliding out when I respawn, and then I'm gonna menu right after I respawn as well. So that'll be the difference. Oops, there we go. And then we just float around Louise, and that is Louise skip. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, all of you. I really appreciate it. And if this helped you out, let me know down in the comments if you were able to land it. Take care, and hope to see you all try this out. Have a good one.